Today we're gonna see how to secure the remote devices using MTD. So how important is to secure the mobile? So this is gonna be an issue because nowadays people started using their own devices to access their email or internal applications. So as an admin, so how we can make sure to secure their devices. So let's see how security gonna be a problem. 89% of users they rely on single security strategy, means they have a perimeter firewall and they have some WAF in place and publishing through WAF. They are okay with whatever security being provided by this perimeter security. And 51% of the users they're using public Wi-Fi, which they don't even have a secure policy to verify whether that Wi-Fi is genuine or not. And 62% of users they don't know how things are working. Like even if some free Wi-Fi is there, people tend to connect. They won't know what is the security issue might happen behind this unsecure or untrusted Wi-Fi. So with Mobilelron, we are making sure whoever using the EVM and MTT are secure enough to access the backend resources. So EVM is used for managing the devices, device posture, and policies configuration. MTT is for blocking external hackers. So together, Mobilelron gives us a mobile threat defense. So this is the high-level architecture for EVM. So we have a EVM console. This EVM console can be on-prem or it can be a cloud, and we have a Sentry. EVM console is the heart of the system where it is used to manage users, policies, configuration, compliance, or anything that has to be done with a mobile. And Sentry is just a gateway which will allow access to the backend resources. When I say backend resources, it might be your email server or internal application server or even an internal database. So when a device is registered, Mobilelron can push certain applications. So on the left, these are the products from Mobilelron. So the first one is the EM client, and this is the enterprise app store and secure email plus, docs at work, web at work, help at work, Mobilelron tunnel, and authenticator. So by default, all these apps are App Connect enabled, and any application which are pushed through Enterprise App Store can be made as a managed app. So those apps will be placed inside a logical container. So the main reason is whatever happens inside the container stays inside the container, and it cannot move outside the container. And anything happens outside the container cannot able to penetrate inside the logical container. So when a device is authorized using the EVM console, Sentry will check whether the device compliance policies, posture, or fine. Then it will allow access to the backend resources. If you notice, there is something called Bridge. So Bridge is just a platform which is used to manage Windows 10 devices for pushing group policies or shells, scripts, or any executables. And access is something to access to control the access on the cloud resources, whether you have Office 365, Salesforce, Dropbox. Access is the one you can able to give access to the users. And if you notice, there is MTT. So MTT uses the same EM console, and MTT has a different console where you can manage policies and app analysis and everything. But the policies can be still managed to EM console. So Mobilelron is the only vendor who has integrated with the same client for EVM as well as MTT. Within a single application, you will have both. It will serve both as EVM client as well as MTT agent. Okay, so this is a very brief overview for Mobilelron architecture. If you have any questions, you can put it on the Q&A. I'll try my best to answer at the end of the session. Okay, so let's see an overview of the risk. So if you see, initially the vulnerabilities for iOS and Android were very minimal, because at the when 2009, this is when iOS started. So people are gradually or slowly using the mobile devices for any email or internal application. But as the days goes, if you see 2018, the number of users has been increased. So as and when the number of users increase, hackers are finding a way to exploit the same. So the vulnerabilities and exposure for the iOS and Android also got increased as when the user increased to use it. And these are the recent vulnerabilities and malware like device exploits, network attacks, and malicious apps. So people might not be knowing or by accidentally installing these apps, they are falling into the hands of hackers. So a couple of months back, there were fake WhatsApp being circulated. So the user or the people can install two WhatsApp on the same device. So one WhatsApp they'll be downloading from the original resource, and the secondary WhatsApp has to be sideloaded, or it will just look like a copy of the original WhatsApp. But this fake WhatsApp might be a malicious one. It can try to read data, the personal data on the same devices. And there are also some DNA vectors, like on the device level, every time there is operating system released, so there is a version of jailbreak and root would be released. So each device has its own, I mean, each operating system version has its own vulnerabilities. So we have to check whether the device is updated to the latest version and the latest patch has been updated, and any type of voice exploit it's there, and any USB violation is there. So even if you simply connect the USB to your laptop just for charging, and this can, if USB exploit is being present, this can also be used by the hacker to gain access to the devices. And network attacks, like people tend to connect with free Wi-Fi, and if the Wi-Fi is not trusted, and someone can make that Wi-Fi as a man-in-the-middle attack. So whatever the traffic used by the users, the hacker will have access to all the data. And app, like there are millions of app available in iTunes and Google Play stores. So we should know what are the genuine apps and what are the malicious apps. So with mobile and MTD, so there is a rating. So threat analytics, there is a threat analytics rating for each app. So this will actually show which app you can trust and which app you can actually blacklist it, and you can guide your user not to install this malicious app. Even if the user installs it, you can actually take action on behalf of that. So let's see some real MTD examples. So we have categorized into three different attacks. One is network, device configuration changes, and silent device attack. So device configuration changes, it's like when actually this is, yeah. So this is actually a network attack. So when just ignore the heading over here. So when a user tries to connect to untrusted Wi-Fi, and might be actually someone publishing the SSID, and they are trying to do a man-in-the-middle attack. So let me go back. Sorry. Yeah, this is device configuration changes. So app, like especially in this region, people tend to use VPN and anonymizers. So whenever you try to install any of those application, a profile will be installed on the device. And these profiles can be a malicious one, or it can gain access to the device sensitive information, and the hacker can get their hands on. So if the MTD is in the device, what will happen the moment you try to install a VPN profile or any profile in the device, it will check the authenticity of the profile. If it is genuine, that's okay. If it is not genuine, it will just try to decrypt any data and sending to any of the third party. Immediately it will alert, or it will take action whatever the admin has been set. So you can set policy saying if someone tried to install any VPN malicious profile, they cannot access corporate resources, they cannot access emails, they cannot access internal application. So similarly, if the user is connecting to a free Wi-Fi, people tend to connect to free Wi-Fi, especially in coffee shops or airports or bus stations. So whenever a user try to connect any untrusted Wi-Fi, it will direct to the phishing page. The moment user tries to put their username and password, the hacker will have access to their credentials, and they can able to exploit it. So with MobileIron MTD, the moment it is redirecting to the phishing page, it will detect and it will alert the user, and it won't even allow the user to connect to the malicious Wi-Fi. Immediately, it will drop the connection. And silent device attack is something like, I'll just give you an example. So you'll have option on the WhatsApp. If you receive any image, automatically it saves in the gallery. So imagine if the image is embedded with a malicious script. So the moment it's say trying to save in the gallery, the script will start executed by itself, and based on the script, it will try to gain either access or it will give control to the third-party hacker or something like that. So this can even happen while you're sleeping or putting your mobile on charge. So with MTD, the moment the file is trying to do anything malicious, anything which it's not supposed to do, or any exploit getting executed, it will stop there itself, and it will make sure that device is not getting compromised. So, as a company, imagine if you could reduce the risk of company and customer data loss, because data loss is something like it's happening rapidly nowadays, and we'll have to the admin has to gain visibility on the malicious threats on the mobile devices. So every time there is a new threat happening, and the admin has to be has the visibility how these new threats are functioning. So the agent should be capable of identifying these latest threats and should be capable of remediating the same time. With Mobilelron, we have a unique approach. So there is only one client, and which is integrated with the same EM client, and it has advanced app analysis engine. So it will give a report like this app can be trusted, and this app it's trying to. These are all app analysis for the new application, and you have a separate management control for tracking the MTD. Installed on the mobile devices, and what are the policies set, or any vulnerable OS is there, or any blacklisted application has been installed. So this is just a quick demo how it does, if you notice. Let me play that. Okay. Yes. So if you notice, there is a Wi-Fi, and this Wi-Fi looks like a unsecured one. The moment user tries to connect it, see automatically the Mobilelron showing it has been detected and connect to insecure network connection. Please disconnect your Wi-Fi. So this is something which is automatically done, and it won't even allow you to connect to the particular Wi-Fi. And with Mobilelron, it's one app and no user action required, and it's for 0 day, and it's on the device. The reason behind it, it's like the user need not to do anything for any type of attack, which I've just explained. Everything happens offline on the device. It doesn't need to reach to any third-party server on the cloud or on-prem service to get a signature or a remediation action to apply. So the moment MTT detects any attack or any malicious thing happening on the device, it automatically remediates, and everything happens even if it's offline. So this is how it works for other MTD. So it will scan on the device, and it will perform detection by using the cloud, and it will inform the EM policy violation, and based on the policy actions being set, it will get the remediation instruction to the EM agent, and it will be pushed to the mobile device, and mobile device will execute to remediate the threat. But with MTD, the moment it detects any violation, and automatically the threat will be remediated on the device. It doesn't need to check with any cloud or any services to get in signature updated. So this is how it works for the Mobilelron MTD. And as a company, if they are not doing anything to make sure the device security posture, they are in risk of losing their critical business data, and it will be damaged to the reputation and loss of customer revenue, fines, and loss of resources. I'll give you a few live examples. So there was free Wi-Fi in a bus. So people tend to connect to the free Wi-Fi, and there might be a hacker sitting in the same bus and publishing its SSID, and people won't know whether this Wi-Fi published Wi-Fi is genuinely from the bus or it's from a third-party hacker. So people tend to connect. The moment they connect to the malicious or unsecure Wi-Fi, their data is already compromised. Another example, it will hardly take 120 seconds to get a device hacked using MITM. So you can simply sit on the airport, the hacker can simply sit on the airport and publish his SSID, and people tend to connect. Once they connect, they won't even be knowing like they are connecting to a genuine one or malicious or an insecure one. If they have Mobilelron MTD, it will be it will alert the user like you are trying to connect to an unsecure Wi-Fi, which is trying to sniff the packet or doing a man-in-the-middle attack, so that it'll request the user to disconnect, or it won't allow the user to connect to the Wi-Fi based on the action it's been set. So this is a live example. So Air Canada, they on 24 August 2018, they have 20,000 mobile user data that's been accessed. And they have whoever access, they have their username, email, phone number, and passport, and they have published the user data. And similarly, British Airways, 380,000 customer credit card information has been compromised in 2018 September, and there was 50 plus million pounds loss for their company, and they have stolen mobile apps, and they have published the credit card numbers, and they have used it. And similarly, this is another typical example. So there is an app called Tutu. This happened a couple of months back, and this is actually a gaming app, and it is not available in the app store. The moment user try to download or sideload it, this particular app, it's try to get data, read and write data from other application installed on the same device. And similarly, there is a Meitu abusive app which originated from China, and this happened on 2017. And this app tried to read contacts, documents, and files and send it to the hackers' servers. So these are again typical customer example: public office in city of Stockholm and professional service property in United States, global semiconductor manufacturer, and there is a health trade organization. So with benefits, it's easy to deploy single app, and there is nothing much to configure, and you can have immediate and ongoing visibility. You'll have a risky app analysis. If you have your own application, you can have your own app analysis and put it in the policy and put it as an exception, or you can also based on number of application used by the user, you can also have app analysis and give a rating by yourselves. And everything happens on the device, and local action notification and local remediation. And this is the whole solution. Mobilelron Core and Mobilelron Cloud, both are supported for the MTD and it is currently supporting only for iOS and Android. And these are the three types of vectors, especially the MTD. It's securing the device. One is device level configuration type of attack, network level attack, and app level attacks. Yeah, I think this is all about MTD. If you have any questions, you can always use the Q&A session.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mohan. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day ahead. Thank you.